Yeah, let's start. All right. What's going on, everyone? This is brewpac.shakur.
What's up, everybody? It's Art.
This is Brian.
And welcome to the Brewing podcast, episode 18.
You're losing track.
I'm losing track. 18.
I think pretty soon you're just going to say, welcome to another episode. Yeah.
Well, where we're creating community connections through casual conversations. Do us a favor and subscribe to the channel. It does help us out. On today's episode, we have Chris Ganan. Chris is an art director with a passion for art and design. Let's welcome Chris to the show.
Hey.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah. So let's cheers. Let's cheers to that.
Yeah. All right.
ASMR.
Yeah. Get your drinks too, so you can drink with us.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for having me.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Cheers. Yeah.
There we go.
This is from Prairie Artisan Ales, and this is a rainbow sherbet sour ale with rainbow sherbet flavors.
I don't taste the rainbow sherbet. Sherbet? Sherbet.
It depends. If there's cream in it, I think it's a sherbet. But if it's like just fruit, it's a sorbet.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Somebody
I just know
check me
it's
on
sour.
that.
I just know
All right.
Either way.
Okay, no, I'm starting to taste it now. Like it's like in the aftertaste.
What does a rainbow taste like?
All right. Before we get back to our guest, we like to read testimonials on the show. These come from our community members, taken from either conversations, comments, and or direct messages, aka DMs. All right. Well, this comes from Bo.
Of course.
Shout out to Bo.
Yeah.
This is actually towards Brian.
God.
Brian likes to sing on this show periodically.
Sure.
So he says Brian needs to chill with these with the singing. Might get y'all copyrighted.
I don't think I'm that good. Come on now.
Not good, but Brian's good. Okay.
Thanks, Bo.
All right. Chris Ganon's on the show. Let's
Yeah.
talk about it. So,
Yeah.
Chris, you are an art director. I know you mentioned you had an interest at a young age. Let's talk about that. What got you to, having a passion for art?
Well, just being creative, expressing myself through art has always been a thing for me at a young age. And in high school is when I found out that like I could actually, do something with it and actually, make money. And one of the classes I was in, I saw a buddy of mine that was sitting next to me, and he had stickers all over his binder. And I was like, where'd you get those stickers? And he's like, oh, I made them. And I was like, what do you mean you made them? And he's like, I made them last period, like at a screen printing class.
With Mr. Coleman?
Nice.
No, it was Mr. Bentley back then.
Oh, Mr. Bentley. Okay.
Yeah, he actually retired right after I joined his class. So the first year I went in was his last year. And then we switched to a different teacher. But Mira Mesa had one of the best screen printing programs in San Diego.
Oh,
and we had all the latest equipment at the time and all of that. And I really dove in. I was actually in woodworking, and I just quit that class and went straight to screen printing.
took my class too.
and then
Wait, do
just-
they still do woodworking?
I'm sure they do. Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
I tried like auto mechanics, and then I tried woodworking, and then when I found out about screen printing, it was pretty much all over. After that, I canceled pretty much all of my, creative classes and just did screen printing for two periods.
Two periods.
Junior year
wow.
and senior year. Yeah.
Like, is it the same class for both periods?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, one was kind of more focused on like paper printing,
Okay.
and then was more like silk screen printing. But
Yeah.
but I mean, it turned into just like do whatever you want, kind of, because it was his like I said, it was his last year, so he kind of
He gave
Yeah.
nothing.
he kind of zoned out a little bit and let us do our thing,
It was
which
his
was
senior
cool.
year.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I started making a lot of just passion projects, stickers, hats, shirts.
Do you remember your first project that you're like, oh, this is sick?
Not a particular one, no, but But I know I would stick stickers all over
Yeah, I remember
people's
that.
stuff,
Nice.
like, and then all over the school, and then
Yeah, and stop signs.
do you remember your dad's old Volvo?
Yeah.
He had like a 1982 Volvo that
Nice.
they gave me, and then one whole side of that Volvo was covered
Yep.
in stickers.
Damn.
Yeah,
You got pictures of that? No.
I might be able to find some. It's
Right
been a
here.
long- Yeah. If I could find it, it's been a long time, but
I remember that because my dad was like, he saw it for the first time after putting all those stickers. Oh, that's their style these days.
definitely I would like come out of like Albertsons or somewhere and I would see new stickers that I didn't even put on, just people around
Oh, that's
town
kind
with
of
just
cool
the
though.
stickers
It
on.
became like a
Oh, so like people
a
saw the stickers
sticker
and-
community
Yeah.
like car.
Oh, that's cool.
Did you have like a brand? Like what sticker would, like if we can recognize it, like is it still up?
Not really a brand. It was just like whatever I was into at the time. I
Okay.
did take a bunch of my pictures of my grandma,
Oh,
and I would
yeah. Okay.
and I would like add. I had like her holding a boombox.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
That's
cool.
sick.
Stuff like
Yeah.
that, and just like funny things, but nothing really too serious until like after.
You know, one sticker that I do
school.
remember from high school. So, Chris is my cousin. We went to high school together. I think I was a freshman and you were a senior at the time.
Okay.
And one of the stickers that I remember was your Hang 9.
Oh right,
You want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure.
Like
I
behind
was in a band with a couple of friends,
Okay.
and one of our teachers, he lost a toe in a lawnmower
Oh.
accident, and we
Which
didn't
toe? Do you remember which toe it was?
It was the second toe from his
Whoa.
big toe.
Like the pointer finger. type.
Yeah,
The point finger.
I remember we called him out in a class, and we were like, are you really missing a toe?" And he took
Took off
his
his
shoe
shoe.
off, and then
Oh
he
snap!
went like that with his sock, and I
For
was like,
free?
No way.
For free?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, you really are missing a toe." So we named our band after that, and then we did a bunch of merch and stuff like
Oh.
That's cool. Like
That's
hang 9 instead of 10.
that. Yeah.
Do you?
Also,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, did you ever get a questions on that? Like, why you guys call it Hang 9?
Oh, all the time. Yeah. And we just told the same story.
Okay.
So this teacher, did he show up to some of your shows? Was he a big like
Yeah, he
fan?
did. Shit, I can't remember his name.
I remember his name. Is his name Mr. Mayhew?
Mr. Mayhew.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his name.
Okay.
Yeah, that
Okay.
was his name. He was also, I think, a football coach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then he was an English teacher. Yeah, he was cool.
So you did that in high school. From high school, how did you know you wanted to go to the Art Institute? Like, was that right after high school?
Pretty much, yeah. I had a friend that was like, because I was looking into nursing, obviously. Like,
Oh,
yeah.
And I was like, I don't really want to do that. I
Yeah.
know that's what my mom wants me to do.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
what do I actually want to do? And I thought about it, and I was like, all right, well, all I want to do is create stickers and shirts and stuff. So
Yeah.
how can I actually make that into a job? And then I started looking around, and then I found the Art Institute that was actually right down the street from here in Mira Mesa.
Oh, what?
Oh, damn.
It was a
Back in the
different
day,
school,
yeah.
and they got acquired by the Art Institute, and they were in transition.
Oh,
And then
what was it next to Inner Mesa? Is there anything
um,
that's
it was in like more towards Sereno, so it was in the like,
Oh, got
business
it.
It's like,
area.
it was
Okay.
down there.
oh,
yeah.
wow.
I don't think it's there anymore.
No, it's definitely not there
Yeah.
anymore.
Is it still here though?
No,
No.
it
Oh,
actually
it's
moved
not.
to Mission Valley, and it was there for a few years,
And
and, then
then-
they closed down.
Yeah.
Like they
Art,
just
Art Institute, like they don't have any campuses anymore.
not in San Diego, or I mean anywhere.
I don't think so, dude.
Were you in the same school? Or?
It's just like I
You
heard
knew of-
about I heard about it, yeah.
Okay.
Like it was a pretty big thing for what was like all those colleges that kind of closed and all that.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, it was pretty. It was a good school,
Yeah.
but yeah, the program I was in was all right.
Okay,
Yeah?
yeah.
Yeah,
What's the
which was-
program called?
I did multimedia and web design.
Oh, nice.
I actually wanted to try to do some motion graphics after college, and then
Yeah.
once I was out in the real world, I was like, you know what, maybe I'll just go back to my roots, because
Like
I
focus.
was, I was just not really liking it at first, like the motion graphics thing, and then I ended up going into a screen printing shop, and I worked at like 2 or 3 around the city, and then after that, I landed at the place that I'm at right now, and I've been there for 14 years.
14
Oh damn.
years.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Did you start off as art director though?
No, I started
course
off
not.
as
Okay.
as a junior like graphic artist, and then I moved up to artist, and then senior artist, and then finally got the promotion to art director.
Oh, dang. And that was 14 years. When did you get promoted to art director? At what year was this?
It was 4 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
4 years ago
nice.
or
4 years
4 years to
in.
get
oh 4 years in.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then
okay.
I've been the art director since, which has been 10 years.
Yeah.
No one can take your spot.
I mean, I've survived a lot of mergers and like acquisitions.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
Okay. Yeah, you've earned the title. Yeah.
Yeah, they can't get rid of me.
Jeez. So let me ask you, for people that are interested in the field, what's one thing looking back? What's one advice you would give them to get to where you're at today?
The resume doesn't really matter.
Okay.
It's your portfolio that really matters.
Portfolio.
I'm sure you guys
Yeah.
feel the same way. Yeah, it's really about what you know and not what you learned and how you apply it. I think to your job. At least when I'm taking interviews and people and looking at resumes, that's what I look at the most, is really their resume or their portfolio.
Yeah. It's really a portfolio.
It's really about the portfolio.
Okay.
Yeah, like if their resume's 6 pages long, but their portfolio is like really killer, like I'm looking at that first for sure.
Yeah.
So what do you do on a day-to-day? I know you're an art director, but what does that look like? So you have a team of...
I have a team of 5 artists.
Okay.
We have art assistants. We're all over. We all work remote. So I have some art assistants down in Ensenada in like Mexico.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
What?
Okay.
And then I have an artist in Dallas,
That's dope.
one in Long Beach,
dang.
2 in San Diego.
So your team is not all here. That's nuts.
Yeah, and then one in San Clemente. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's weird because there's like 2 artists that I've been working with for like 2 years, and I've never physically met them
Oh,
What?
ever. Yeah, it's weird.
But
I talk to them every day, but
You
I've
interview
never
them
met
through Zoom?
through Zoom, Teams, Microsoft Teams.
Oh, God.
Like that.
That's a big thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, our typical day is we have a meeting. We go over deadlines for the week or for the day, and then I review what they worked on the day before or a couple days before, and then we reassess what we need to do.
Can you share some of the companies that you've worked with in the past?
Yeah. So we're a licensed apparel company, and we've got like 400 to 450 different.
Wow. Big man.
Yeah.
Well, the big company, really.
Yeah.
We're Disney's number 2 partner, licensed partner, behind
I didn't know
Hasbro.
that.
Hasbro like does all the toys and stuff. So they're, in terms of volume,
Yeah.
that's we're number 2 for sure.
Nice.
And this is the headquarters here.
We have one in San Diego. We have a facility down in Ensenada.
Mhm.
We have one in Glendale, California.
Oh.
Then one in Chico,
I didn't know
California.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like
So-
a network of.
Yeah.
There's
Pretty
not.
much.
There's like one central kind of thing. It's just you're kind of
Yeah.
spread, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as far as the creative teams go, there's 2 big ones, one in LA, one in San Diego.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
but we're all spread out
Yeah.
pretty much.
Can you share some of the places that your career has taken you? Like some of the, maybe it's buildings. I know I saw one specifically that, I was like, oh, dang, you're at Pixar.
Yeah, I went to the
Yeah.
Pixar campus. It was cool.
Yeah.
It was huge. They have a lot of really cool statues, a lot of really cool creatives, obviously.
Okay.
I went to the Lucasfilms facility
Oh,
as well a couple
what?
times. They I believe they still own the record for most movie posters just in one place, I guess.
Okay.
Because
Like
that
an
whole
archive? Do they have like an archive or something?
that whole building is just full of movie posters, like all types
Oh,
from
damn.
from
Wow.
all different eras. Yeah.
That's
You-
crazy.
Do you get like grab bags like when you leave, or
Yeah,
like
like,
do you get
uh,
anything free? Like
Sometimes I went to a filming in Atlanta. It was for the Falcon and
Super Bowl?
no Falcon like
Like the
show.
Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
I went to that, and they were giving out like tumblers and
Oh, that's pretty dope.
nothing
Yeah.
too crazy,
Yeah.
but like notebooks and stuff like that. But
Okay.
it was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, you got that Disney money, so you know.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we have a saying at my work, and that's the mouse is hungry. So whenever the mouse is hungry, we gotta feed it. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So besides Pixar, is there any other places that will be memorable to you?
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I went to the Warner Brothers studio.
What?
Also, and I
Oh,
met with
man.
them.
Oh, dude, that's
Wait,
fun.
do you get like
WB, man.
plus ones? Or?
No.
It's like,
I'm with him. I'm with this guy.
But is it like different than like, because I know like people can go there like to tour. Like, do you get like a behind the scene, like you get more access?
It all depends, but yeah, sometimes they'll have like they'll have their costumes out, or they'll have like initial sketching or stuff like that. You get to see the artists, and they're like huge Wacom tablets, and it's different now though than it was like pre-COVID because everybody works from home, so like it's weird that they have this like 20-story building and it's like empty. And nobody has desks. You have to check out a desk and you can sit wherever. It's like kind of like a library.
Oh yeah. Man, that's so wild.
Same with the Netflix facility. I went there.
Oh, you went there too?
It's the same. Yeah, it's just like a bunch of desks everywhere and couches and stuff, and you could just sit wherever and work. And then they have little like pods.
Yeah,
big like enclosure that you could just sit in and have a meeting.
The acoustics, and I've seen one of those before too, because like I think one of my friends, like he invited me to his work once or whatever, and it's like self-contained. Like if you're outside, like or like you're walking by or whatever, you can't really hear the conversation kind of going.
It's definitely
it's
built
so
that way,
trippy.
so that you're,
That's what
like soundproof.
That's what I feel like sometimes like we need, because like we be talking about like personal stuff or whatever, like with your clients or whatever, or like things that are like more confidential, and then
like a pod.
But we don't have like that kind of
at work,
stuff there. Yeah, it's just like everyone can hear. It's like,
it's like really trippy because you look at it and it's like, I don't know the one you saw. The one I saw was like a big old like hexagon kind of thing, and then it's like
it had like a huge egg. The one that I saw.
Wait, like Men in Black, that kind of.
Yeah.
That's an egg chair.
But like a chair with like a thing around.
That's pretty
it.
cool.
Oh, wow. You have pictures of this?
No, I don't, unfortunately. We don't have anything like that at my work. We have just regular conference rooms you gotta go to get away from everybody.
When you take these tours, are you able to take pictures, or do they tell you gotta turn in your phone here?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. I've gone to like screenings where they take your phone. They take your phone. They put it in an enclosure. They give you like a number, and then you have to go back and get it later. I've gone to one where there was security guards with like night vision goggles.
Oh, so they don't see anyone like in the dark.
It was when Star Wars came out with the latest series. And they were literally walking up and down the aisles, like looking to see if anybody was recording.
Were they dressed as stormtroopers?
Could you imagine?
That would have been sick, right?
At least do it in character, right?
I know, right?
That'd be pretty dope.
They actually let us hire like actors we do trade shows, and they'll let us borrow like our R2D2 to walk around, and then a couple of stormtroopers to get people to come into our booth.
Oh, that's sick.
Cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
How often would you do these trade shows? Is it annually?
Pre-COVID, it was twice a year. After COVID, nobody really does it anymore too much. I mean, like not in our industry. I mean, the conferences still happen, or the trade shows still happen, but our company doesn't do it.
How often would you say you travel, like in your job now? Or let's go pre-COVID and then now.
Pre-COVID, I would go like twice a month. Just around to like retailer meetings or to licensor meetings. But nowadays, I don't really go to any of those meetings. I go up to LA to meet with the like team members that I work with up there, probably once a month, but not so much with the licensors anymore or the retailers.
Is that like because of like position, or is it just because of like the post-COVID like climate?
I think it's more of the technology now with the Zoom and all of that. We just Zoom call now, and then send samples.
It's just convenient.
I mean, our sales reps still go out sometimes, but the creatives don't go as much.
So when you're going out to all these things, is there like a purpose, or like they're just inviting you out just because, or is?
Well, what we usually do is we work on a season for them, right? Like, so right now we're usually like a year.
In advance. Okay.
Yeah. We're presenting like spring, summer 2025 right now.
Right. For fashion. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. We'll do like a huge presentation of a bunch of different bodies, t-shirts, like whatever it is for the season, like swimwear. And then we'll present them our whole line, and then they'll come back with like, this is what we like, this is what we want you to work into. It's a lot different than like your normal brand, fashion brand, where they're like, here's our catalog, what do you want to buy?
I
mean, I'm sure it's a little bit more complicated than that, but like,
I mean, smaller brands will still do that kind of thing.
For licensed apparel and licensees, we kind of have to cater to like two different sides, right? It's the license or their rules, their brand their IP, and then what the retailers want for their floor. So like a Walmart customer versus a Target customer is completely kind of different.
What does IP stand for?
Yeah,
I'm not
intellectual
familiar.
property.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
And what does that mean?
Like Star Wars is an IP.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yes.
Okay.
That's intellectual property. Like they own that idea. Like no one else can,
Like we're supposed to know that.
How about you learn something? Yeah. Y'all don't hear something and just not Google it or whatever?
I just heard it right now.
That's the first time I heard IP.
Yeah.
Really?
I've heard of IB, IE,
Yeah.
Inland Empire.
God.
But yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. We got to sign a lot of NDAs.
Oh.
Do you know what an NDA is?
Yeah.
I heard of those.
I heard of those. Yeah.
Not sure if I'm allowed. Well, I'll say, but
We'll bleep it out if anything, or we won't.
During the Star Wars release, one of our artists is like a super Star Wars fan, and he saw the Kylo Ren like renderings first, and he does a lot of fan art, and he did a bunch of art, and he put it on his Instagram, and my boss calls me, and he was like, "Hey, tell him to take it off right now. Tell him to take it off right now." And it was crazy because it was literally his wedding day. Like his wedding day was that day that my boss was like, "You need to call him." And I was like, "It's his wedding," and he's like,
"I don't care."
So what?
Yeah.
They're gonna take the license from us.
That's a big deal.
So I had to call him. Yeah, you need to shut
He's
this
like,
down. Like right.
He's at the altar.
I'm so sorry.
Hello.
Yeah. Oh, so sorry, but you gotta pull this down. Right
How
now.
fast did he pull it down? Was he
Pulled
like
it down
Oh, okay.
that second? Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. And then we actually found a leak, because he was like, I saw this before I even saw it from Lucasfilms, and I was like, okay, but like, how do you
prove it? Yeah.
So he showed us the exact place where it leaked and everything, and then my boss was like, all right, cool.
Let me ask you, what did his severance package look like?
No, he didn't get.
Okay, it's fine.
We were good.
I think there's that leak though, right? Because then it's like,
was it like a big kind of plot point kind of thing, or
it was just his costume, his helmet. Like nobody even knew what it looked like.
because that was a big thing.
That was
Like,
before.
Is this the one where he had the red like scar?
It was even before.
Oh, before that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh dang. So, what's the furthest place you've traveled in your work? Have you gone international too?
I have not. The furthest I've gone is New York.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that makes sense.
I got to tour the Sesame Street, like
the actual Sesame Street.
That was one of the pictures
You met
that
Oscar?
I gave you.
Oh, that was okay.
I was at the Sesame Street facility. It's pretty cool. I went to the Marvel facility as well.
In New York.
In New York, they moved to a new facility, but that one was like, it was kind of ghetto. I was surprised. It was like an old 1960 or 70 like building.
Okay,
and I was like,
that's Captain America's.
Yeah, I was like,
but it was what you would think. Like there was a bunch of people like crammed in one area, but like they had toys everywhere and just like Marvel paraphernalia everywhere.
Oh dang!
Yeah,
did you get to take pictures of that?
I did. Okay. I might be able to find some for you guys. It's been years. It's been before.
Make sure it's vetted,
Yeah, I know.
Don't want you to get in trouble, man.
Yeah. So you've done a lot of traveling. You've gone to many places. In those places, have you met anyone famous, like up front, and you got to have a conversation, or even just passing by? Can you name some of the names?
One of the biggest people that I met was Kevin Feige. He's the
yeah.
The
head guy himself.
Yeah. I got to meet him. Every once in a while, we'll see an actor or two, but nothing too crazy. No, it's usually just like we meet with the retailers, we meet with the creative people from like the Lucas team and stuff like that, but none of the actual like talent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, so you never get like I guess that kind of makes sense because everything that you would need to know to design stuff, they give it to you like in doc form. Like here's what you need. Yeah.
They call them style guides. They give you a whole like. All the assets, all the characters, some compositions, colors, Pantones.
Yep.
All the rules, the editorial, like some of them get crazy. We have, I think the craziest license we have is probably Pokemon.
Oh, snap. Okay.
They have like a US team that does approvals, and then it goes into a second layer in Japan, and there's a Japan team that goes through all the rules. So it's
nice.
like sometimes they won't be agreeing with each other, and then you're just kind of in the middle.
You're like, I don't know what to
all the
do.
art.
Yeah.
Like,
And they're
this
done
doesn't
that.
look like Pikachu.
Yeah. No, their rules are pretty crazy. Like Pikachu's ear has to be showing all.
Is it like
time.
the red circle ratio to his face and stuff? Like
Pretty
like
much,
pretty
yeah.
like
No,
It's
minute
really
stuff.
Wow.
Dang,
Style
that's
design
wild.
docs
Yeah.
can get pretty intense. Like, because they literally detail. It's like, okay, if you have this logo, you're not allowed to stretch it this way. You're not allowed to do it like this. You're not allowed to change this color. You're not allowed to have this thickness of line or whatever.
It's like all of those branding rules and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like,
That's literally what it is. Yeah,
organization,
yeah. Yeah,
There's
because
like a special spacing around the logo.
Yeah.
Nothing
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
around it.
Dang.
Yeah.
yeah, I think also for like character wise stuff, it's like, okay, like some of them are this character cannot be next to this character or something like that. Sometimes it's gonna be like that, or like they're not allowed to be like above or like below, so they can get pretty crazy.
they can't be friends on the same.
No, we have the Minecraft license also, and there's
Yeah.
like characters in certain dimensions that are not in other dimensions, and they're like they would never be together.
Yeah. Well, because in the game, it's like they have different biomes and stuff, so it's like they would never,
Yeah.
they would never be in the same thing. So
Oh wow.
Yeah, so there's a lot of guidelines that we definitely have to follow, but then there's certain licenses that are just like do whatever you want. Like
yeah,
Oh, that's those are the fun
it's
ones,
pretty
though.
cool. Yeah, and they'll let us redraw their characters. Like we did a whole series where we made the characters like buff and we put them on like muscle tees. And it's pretty cool.
like what are some of the IPs that let you have that kind of creative free reign? If you're allowed to say, of course.
Yeah, Sesame Street's pretty lenient.
Oh, you can
They
make like
let
a
us
buff
do-
Elmo, dude.
Oscar?
Yeah.
We did a buff Oscar. We did
Okay.
a buff
Okay.
Cookie Monster. Cookie Monster is like their best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think like what else? Who else lets? Not a lot of people let us do.
No.
that.
Yeah.
Star Wars used to let us do whatever. We'd have like Vader kicking a goal in a soccer game.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And then once they got acquired by Disney, they got really, really strict, and then they've been pretty strict since then. But it's still pretty fun. I mean, like you still can be creative. I mean, it's hard to be within their guidelines, but if you're creative, you'll find a way. You know,
Yeah.
to make it sell.
What would you say is your most memorable moment in your career so far?
My most memorable moment in my career. That's tough. I mean, I guess it would be when I got promoted.
Okay.
Because
That's pretty memorable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because the art director at the time kind of abruptly left, so we kind of created this like senior art team of like 6 people, and we were kind of like divvying up all the director work, and then we were in transition at the company. We had a new like VP come in, and then it took about 8 months of like that senior artist group putting together all the projects, and then finally they gave me the promotion. So I would say that
They just like, hey, we saw your work. We want
pretty
that."
much.
Okay.
Yeah, they pulled the whole art team
Yeah.
in, and they're like, yeah, we wanted to announce this. You know, thanks for your hard work over the last few months.
Yeah.
We're gonna give you this.
Nice.
Did they give you like a heads up first before they pulled everybody in?
They did. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just in there like, oh what?
I mean, it happened kind of, even though it was a 8 month period, it kind of happened pretty quickly, because I was on my way like out, to be honest.
Let's talk about that now. Let's talk about that.
I kind of hit a ceiling, and I wasn't, growing. So I was like, okay, well, what else can I do? And I started applying at places in LA.
Yeah.
And then I got a few interviews up in LA, and then I had a couple lined up, and then they're like, yeah, we're thinking about promoting you here. And I was like, okay, well, started weighing everything out and thinking about it. And then I ultimately just stayed. Yeah. And then 10 years later, I'm still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's dope.
You're like, hey, Warner Brothers just offered me something.
Yeah.
Can
No,
you
I
match
mean,
that?
That actually happens a lot in our industry.
Oh, yeah?
Right? Like a lot of people move around, but
Yeah.
it's pretty rare to have somebody stay like in one place for this long, to be honest.
Okay.
That's kind of wild that like you had to like weigh options, because you always get those kind of things. It's like, hey, we're thinking about making you do this one thing, and then like they don't give it to you.
Yeah.
They kind of dangle it over you. Well,
Yeah,
they
dangle it.
didn't do that to me.
Yeah. Thankfully.
Yeah.
I'm glad that didn't happen to you, because that happens to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's
especially
just
in
like
the creative
Yeah.
industry.
Yeah.
for sure.
Carrot to get them to stay as long as they can like
Produce, right?
produce.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right.
Yeah. Like I said, I've lasted a lot of acquisitions, and they actually acquired Neff
Oh,
and LRG over the years, and I got to meet with their creative teams, which was pretty cool. Like bounce ideas off of each other and see how they think, how they work. So it's been an experience for sure, especially over the last 6 or 7 years. They've acquired so many companies and merged with so many companies and competitors that I've met and worked with a lot of really cool creative people.
What would you say is the most rewarding thing in your career?
I think it's working with the creative people and seeing how they think, how they work, and just being able to express ourselves through the guidelines of the licensors, but still getting to see things before they actually are released is pretty cool. But yeah, I would say it's working with the creatives that I'm with.
Okay.
I mean, like being an art director, you're working with like creatives a lot. Are you still creating yourself, or is it just all about managing the other people who create the actual things?
I would say that's probably like working with everybody else and making sure that those deadlines are being hit is probably number one. But I do create art as well still. Obviously not as much, but whenever it's needed, I'll jump
for the job, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Like if we have just a bunch of deadlines and we're pretty slammed.
Yeah, of course not.
Yeah.
You're like that's your job.
It's like when there's a lot to do, you just like jump back in the trenches and start getting.
You're leading from the front right there.
Yeah. That's being in middle management is you kind of have to do that sometimes.
Yeah.
You're kind of getting it from above and below, like
getting kind of DP there. Yeah.
Kind of in a way.
Brian,
Wait, what is this DP? Please share, Ryan. We're trying to learn here.
Do you can cut that.
I'm not.
No, he's not going to. He's not going to. But yeah, I mean, like I didn't expect for you to be like a middleman. I thought you'd be like on the top kind of things, because I mean, I guess the top would be, I guess, the actual IP holders and the companies themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the below part would be the people that work under you, or is there someone below that, or what?
I guess it would be the artists, the art assistants.
Okay.
Like whenever I'm in a meeting, I'm usually conducting the meeting, whether it's with VPs or with artists. That's kind of what I meant when I'm saying like, getting it from.
Yeah. It's like you're like trickling down like the information from above to your staff, but then like you're doing like performance or like project updates to like your bosses, right?
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Does that mean, do you still have time to do your, like, if it's not for work, like, do you still have time to do your own personal work then?
On occasion. I mean, like, I do have a couple of side projects that I work on, but not too much. It's a delicate balance for sure. I mean, I would say it weighs a little bit more on the work side than the life-work balance is a little bit off at the moment.
Yeah. I'd expect so, for especially when you're working like with big intellectual properties like that.
They're pretty demanding too, especially the retailers.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of people like gunning for those spots on the floor. So it's like it almost becomes a race, like who can get us the art faster. And so everybody's like rushing to get the project done, or if there's like a recap where we need to redo something for the buyer, then we're all rushing to get it out.
On that little topic right there, how do you feel about the whole AI kind of thing? Because that's kind of like their whole thing is like, oh, we can do this like faster, whatever. It looks like shit, but
It depends on the license. We don't use it too much. I think where we use AI a lot is really with editorial. And, coming up with like verbiage and stuff like that. But we don't really do like rendered art through AI or anything like that. Cause usually don't allow us to do it.
Yeah. Because even though it's like AI doesn't have like copyright or anything like that, like because that's like the whole thing. Because like, I don't know, I'm pretty sure you're in the know about all that, like where there's a lot of creatives like kind of decrying it and all that. It's because it's basically like pushing out all this. For one, it's pushing out like a lot of subpar work or whatever, and then it's also displacing like a lot of artists and stuff like that. But then there's the other side too, where people are like, oh, this is like, this is progress or whatever. And then, but a lot of times, like, I think the results are pretty.
Yeah, it is. I mean, there's certain things that help the actual day to day.
Yeah.
Like removing backgrounds or things like that.
Yeah. See that much, like, I understand, like, where it makes your life easier, not, replacing it wholesale,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's really where we use AI is things like that, just little filters or things that just make your everyday life a little bit easier and quicker and more efficient.
Yeah.
Can we talk about your passion project that you're working with your brother? I know we're talking about brands, but how about your own branding?
I don't know if I want to talk about it too much.
Okay. Anything you want to share?
Well, yeah, I mean, like, me and my brother are into sports a lot, and we feel like like I said earlier, we like to express ourselves, so like we like to do what we're into, right? Like design into what we're into. So we did some stuff with San Diego sports, just San Diego in general, making some designs for it, and
cool.
We're coming to the finish line. I mean, we got everything. We're setting up a photo shoot right now. So I think that's the last step, and then we'll probably launch our site in a few months after that.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Nice.
Yeah. So for those that do not know, Chris and Dan, your brother, they've helped create or design the Brewing logo, the Brewing community on the forest green shirt. For those that have seen that, so that's something that they've worked on. All right, we play games on the show such as this or that. Would you rather? Name your price. One must go. Pick your poison. Most likely two. This is also called Random Fun. Since I forgot.
Hey, you got to change it up, man.
Yeah.
It's 18 episodes in. You got to, keep it fresh.
This episode, we're playing Work From Home. Now let's play. So I have a series of questions, work from home related questions. I feel like all four of us work from home at some kind of capacity.
Right.
So first question. So what we like to do is guess first, and then we'll go around. All right, Chris, what time of the day is the worst for meetings for you?
What time of day is the worst for me? I would say towards the end of the day. I would rather, meet on the subject, talk about it, and get it done, and instead of like having to refresh the next day. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you have a meeting at the end of the day, at the beginning of the day, then it's kind of top of mind.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
how about you guys?
I think like middle of the day or something like that. Like middle, like not towards the end, but like towards like that. Yeah. If you put it like into thirds, it's like that middle third, the end of that middle
like
third.
2 p.m.
Yeah.
2 p.m.
Like 1 p.m. too, because it's like I feel like I'm most attentive at the beginning and the end.
Not when you're hungry, like
Yeah. Like whenever we do this podcast. But yeah, I mean, because I don't know. I think it's just it could be just like a me thing. It could be like a universal thing. But like that middle of the day, it's kind of like I'm more of in a mode to kind of zone out and work on stuff rather than having to dedicate brain cells to memorizing information and making sure like I remember all this kind of stuff. Because like beginning of the day, like you're more attentive, whatever, and then like you get out of the way. Most importantly, you get out. I'd rather prefer like as early as possible, right? Yeah. And then at the end of the day, it's like it's the last thing I kind of remember. I might not be all there or whatever, but I'm more likely to remember because it's like the last thing or whatever. But in the middle, it's just like, I just want to work on stuff,
I think I'm the opposite. Like I don't like it too early because I feel like I need to acclimate to being awake.
Yeah, right.
Well, I feel that.
Yeah. So I think like a 10. I think like 10ish.
Is the worst time?
Like this is the best.
Oh,
time
it's the best time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to piggyback off Art. I don't like to start my day with a meeting, but like give me an hour to acclimate as well. Like read my emails and just drink my coffee. All that.
Clean out your eye boogers.
Clean out my eye boogers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
See, like when it's in the beginning of that, like I do all that stuff, but then like I'm listening to it or whatever, and that kind of wakes me up because it's like, oh, I have to remember this. I have to make sure that like this gets done or whatever. So
Yeah.
So
let me ask you, what jobs will never be done from home? What type of jobs?
Construction.
I mean,
all right, that's Art's answer.
Medical jobs.
Medical jobs?
Yeah.
oh, I don't
Some
It depends.
telehealth, maybe.
Like
because some of the like I think my health provider, because I went with the Kaiser, they do the telehealth thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, you could, as long as you have the knowledge or whatever, you can kind of
like emergency room though. You
emergency.
Can't
No, you can't. You can't do like a surgery from Zoom. I mean, they do have those things now where like they have like robots and stuff, and they can control it autonomously or remotely.
disguise.
But like, I was gonna say anything like food industry related. Like,
It's true. It's true.
I was gonna say grocery store. That makes sense, right?
Grocery store.
You can't work from home unless you're like the manager and you do like Zoom meetings and place orders, all that stuff.
I think it's safe to say like any managerial position, like you can do that from home.
I think any frontline work needs to be in person,
right?
Like hands on.
Yeah,
but
that's what happened, right?
Yeah,
everybody stayed home except for the
yeah. That's why you got all the people that are like essential workers and whatnot.
What's your take?
My take, I guess outside of telehealth would be medical stuff, right? Like if you need to get something done,
like a shot
yourself.
Yeah.
You can do that at home. That'd be weird too. People lighting up at your garage.
I know you're like in the camera, like, all right, give yourself a shot in the ass. Like someone's like a little lower.
They're like, "Aren't you again?"
That's your fourth shot this week.
Have you ever experienced an embarrassing moment working from home?
Yeah.
Guess first, man. Come on.
I'm sorry.
We'll get to you in a second.
Yeah, we'll get to you.
Yeah.
I've definitely accidentally farted on a car.
Was it like a loud one or like?
Yeah, it was a loud
What?
Oh no!
but nobody noticed.
Yeah.
What kind of meeting was it? Like,
It was a meeting with some artists.
oh, okay. I feel like that's fine.
I didn't notice.
Yeah.
But another time I was
Wait. But then how did you
straight face.
You just knew or whatever? Like no one else noticed?
nobody reacted, so I just
Okay.
kept talking. I was like, all right, well, nobody heard.
Wait, hold up. What kind of fart was it? Was it like, or was it like, did you explode that? Like,
I think it was definitely a pretty significant one where someone would have heard it.
Yeah.
Maybe they just didn't say anything. I don't
Well, I
know.
mean, I think it's like at that point, like if you're on a Zoom call, I assume, right?
Yeah.
When you do that, yeah. Like it's like in person.
Well, luckily I didn't have the camera on, so they didn't see
but
my
your
face.
thing highlighted.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was talking when it happened. I was like,
There you go.
Because I feel like if it was on video, you can kind of tell. Unless you, I was about to say like did you like have the confidence of like acting like nothing happened or whatever?
Did you laugh?
Pretty much because nobody reacted, so I was like, all right, I'm just gonna keep going. I muted it and I started laughing.
That's when they would knew if like you just started laughing around you spoke. Yeah.
That's funny.
No, but another time I was actually conducting a meeting with like a bunch of VPs on the call.
Ooh, big hits.
and my dog she likes to sit like kind of between my legs under my desk.
Yeah.
And she like crop dusted me.
Oh.
And I had to stop. I was like, I'm sorry, but my dog like
dog
literally
farted.
just farted right under me. And I just give me a second to like fan it out. Here.
Dogs for farts are the worst.
Yeah.
All right. Now you can go.
Yeah. Art.
Oh. All right. Yeah. Well, it wasn't like it was a meeting. It was like a group training. And it wasn't anything like visual, but I was in the chat and, there's this phrase that someone came up with. It's called like crock pot thinking. Like it takes a minute for you to stew on an idea, right? Like you're not like one of those instant like,
right.
Here's a question, you have a solution. It's like, well, let me think about it, right?
Yeah.
But I accidentally spelled crock.
Oh
wrong.
no!
How'd you spell it?
And then I was like, oh. And then I had to like try to edit my comment in Teams really fast. Yeah,
You can edit.
Oh,
yeah.
It'll say edit, but
Yeah, it'll
know
say
that.
edit. I was
Okay.
like, ooh.
Is it one of those things? I don't know if you know, like when you text message, you can edit, right? But if you hover over the edit, you can read the original.
The edits, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Whoa.
Try that. Like, yeah.
It's on Apple, huh?
It's
It's on Apple.
Yeah, okay.
I was like, can you do that on WhatsApp too? You can edit on WhatsApp, but
I don't know.
Yeah. I've never had anything because like usually when I do like Zoom calls or anything like that, I'm usually just audio only.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just specifically to reduce anything like that.
Yeah. I think.
It's nerve wracking though.
Oh, yeah.
Like, was I muted? Am I muted?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, there's a little thing in the corner that shows you.
You'd be surprised though. Like sometimes.
Just gotta be attentive, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it happens to a lot of people. Like, it's like,
Yeah,
excuse me,
yeah.
you're muted.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times I gotta say that. It's like,
Oh, you, Jason.
I think my most recent was when I went to urgent care. Remember my nose bled?
Yeah.
I had like a blood clot, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shoot, like it was like mid check-in with my boss, and it was like dripping out. And I said, can I excuse myself real quick? And I turn off the what do you call it? My camera. But it's one of those like you turn it off, but it clicked again, and then she saw like all the blood. Yeah, and I was like, oh my bad, and I just moved out of the way, like I just ducked. But I would say that's like probably one of the most embarrassing as a recent.
I mean, like that's kind of understandable, you know.
It's like an
That's
emergency.
Yeah. I don't think anyone would, make fun of you for
Don't
that.
look at me.
At my most vulnerable.
All right, what project are you guys working on right now? Can you share?
What project am I working on?
No, which one?
Yeah, well, I mean, I am working on that passion project with my brother.
Okay.
But work-wise, like I said, we're working on spring, summer 2025. We kind of work on multiple seasons. So I'm working on spring, summer, and then fall and holiday for 2024. Just depends because some retailers are ahead of others. Walmart's like usually first, furthest out, and then Target, and then Kohl's, and then JCPenney.
Oh wow!
Oh, JCPenney's still around?
Yes, JCPenney.
JCPenney's still around.
Sears is the one that went under.
Yeah, Sears.
Yeah, okay.
Where's JCPenney at? Is it UTC still?
There's one in Fashion Valley, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, there's still up
And
in
then I
Fashion
think
Valley.
there's one in North County.
Yeah, that's what I think. The North County one's still there.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been a minute.
Yeah, North County Mall still there.
Yeah. I think it's supposed to turn into something though. Like I think eventually everything's gonna get cycled out or something.
Yeah, except for UTC, I feel like they're set.
Hey, you guys were talking about Mission Valley turning into like a residential place.
Yeah,
or something, right?
like apartments or something.
Mission Valley, right? Yeah.
Mission Valley. Yeah. I can't remember the last time I've been there except for going to Target.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
I go to Yard House every once in a while.
Oh, you do?
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, I go to Yard House sometimes, and then sometimes I go to the movie theater down there.
Oh
The
yeah, there is
AMC?
Yeah. Just because sometimes they have films that are like not shown anywhere else because it's AMC.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only time I go, and then every time I go, it's like a whole dead mall situation. There's like a lot of places that are not there. I think I was also there for the what was it? You remember you showed me that one thing with the VR thing?
Oh, did you check it out?
Yeah, I went there. I went there with my
It's like a sandbox place.
Yeah.
I've never been there, but
it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun.
Oh, you gone?
Yeah, because my sister wanted to try it, and like when she was in town, it's like, hey, let's do this thing. I was like, oh, sick, let's go.
Wait, which VR did you do? Human Centipede?
Why is that?
Oh my god.
No, it was like a zombie
Can
apocalypse.
you imagine
kind of
though?
It's like what
VR?
kind of game is this?
What is this? What am I doing right now?
I mean, my only complaint was like, I don't think they had proper at the time that we went, they didn't have like proper conditioning, so they just had like fans going. It was a little bit,
hot.
it was a little bit warm because like, especially when you're wearing the vest and like the helmet thing, it can get, and you're moving too.
Yeah.
It's like you have like a little square that you're allowed to move in, and then it's like, it's also like a little bit of a stuffy room, so like we were like all sweaty afterwards.
That's
is
kind
it
of
like a Ready Player One where you're like on a treadmill and you're just
No, it's literally just like a big old square thing, and then like because the whole situation that we chose was like a whole zombie apocalypse thing, and then it's like
would always be a fun one.
yeah. So it's like you're trapped like in a little town square kind of thing, and then so there's visual cues where you can go up to, and then there's visual cues where like
there's a wall.
Yeah. I mean, like there's no like visual. I mean, there's a visual wall in the game or whatever, but then like it's like, why would you go past that wall, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
Because it's a real wall.
Yeah. You're right.
You kick the door down.
Yeah. And then like the way they transitioned it to, it's like you're what is it? So like you're like in a little town square, and then like you fight your way out of that, and then like this truck comes in, and then like you're like moved onto the truck. So now you're fighting from the back of a truck shooting out.
Oh man.
Yeah, we got to do it. It's really fun. Yeah.
That reminds me. What's that one game? Remember when we were growing up as kids? We went to the liquor store to play that shooting game.
Area 51.
Yeah, I was gonna say Area 51.
Was that the game?
I think so.
It's like
I mean,
red and blue gun.
Yeah, they needed to bring
there's
that.
a lot of those. There's Time Crisis. There's
Time Crisis. That was the game. Yeah.
the one where you have to step on the thing to dunk
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We spent like so many quarters there. Or something.
I had a friend that was a security guard at Dave and Buster's, and he gave me like the security guard card. And I remember there was like a line of little kids waiting, and I was like, "Nah, I'm gonna beat it."
I'm beating the whole game.
Yeah,
High score.
Yeah, dude.
All right, next question.
Oh yeah.
Does working from home make your life more stressful or less stressful?
100% less stressful, and it's mainly because of traffic.
Mainly, okay.
Yeah, like I would come home in foul mood sometimes, just getting cut off like 4 or 5 times on the way home.
Oh yeah, that's the worst.
So that, I mean, for me, that's the number one thing. I mean, and then also, like, you get really busy, and when you're in the office, there's people coming up to your desk all the time. But when you're on Teams or whatever, you can, I'll answer you in a second. Like, you know what I mean?
You have control.
Exactly. Like, there's not like physically somebody in front of you asking a question. You can be like, hey, I got to take care of this really quick. I'll get right back to you.
Especially someone in your position, being an art director and all, like being up there. So especially like if you're physically there, everyone is like, oh, I see the boss. Let me just,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I said, they're
Yeah.
physically there. You're like, all right, I'll just answer you because you're right here. But like,
you can
it's
start
just a
ordering the severity of it, I guess, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Well, and I think when you're in office and you're accessible, a lot of your staff will just be like, hey, Chris, what's this? What's this? What's this?
Yeah.
I get the same way at work, but I've kind of countered it where at staff meeting, I let them know, like, all right, before you come to me for an answer, come up with 2 solutions, and then we can talk about it more in depth. Because a lot of times it'd be, knock on my door. I'm like, gee, I can't even do stuff at like any admin in my office.
Yeah, and sometimes if you like don't answer them right away, like 10 minutes later,
panic.
They'll be like, "Oh, never mind, I figured it out."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, see, there you go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Look at you figuring out things by yourself, using your brain.
How about you guys?
No, I think it's less stressful for sure. Just being able to roll out of bed and brush my teeth and then hop online, you know what I mean? Like
The convenience.
throw
of it
on a
all, right?
sweater, just
You're all laying down on your stomach on your laptop.
Dude, sometimes
Your legs
man.
crisscross like this above your.
Like I'll have like my little like lap desk and then I'll just be like on the bed still.
You're like nice button up, and then
Yep.
It's got the little nightcap, little candle holder.
So it's definitely convenient, especially too like if you have to do like any like task or things, that only happen like Monday through Friday too. Like if you have to, like for example, like I think there was like some plumbing issues, right? And I'm like, like who's gonna be home? Well, actually, I'm working from home that day, so schedule it that day. I'll just let whoever in. They do the thing while I'm still working. So it's like, how am I gonna do that if I'm in the office?
Yeah.
So I think that it's like easier to schedule stuff like life stuff.
Yeah.
Well, like what I mentioned before too is that when you have that on your own time, right? Yeah. It's like you get to control whatever kind of happens, which I think is like a lot of nice. So I agree, it's like a lot less stressful. Like I don't have people under me or anything like where you guys have that position right there, but just being able to talk clients like whenever without having to physically meet at a place. The only time I actually physically meet at a place is like if I have to have them like sign a contract or whatever, because for some reason people are not that technologically advanced to know how to sign a PDF sometimes.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's good to have like that physical signature. That's the only time I ever like have to like meet with people. But otherwise, like I'll do a phone call or like I'll do a Zoom call or whatever is like the most convenient for them. And it's convenient for both of us, all the people involved.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see some of the inventions that come out post-COVID for people that work from home. Like I saw a mouse that like vibrates.
What?
I don't do this. I work the entire time that I'm like, but like there's people that like won't
To show
work,
the motion.
but then it'll like vibrate so they'll look like you're online working.
Oh,
Have you seen those videos like on Instagram?
Yeah.
where they'll connect it to a fan so the mouse will, like, move. It looks like they're working.
Yeah. Or like there are like some old optical mouses and like YouTube videos. You just put it on like a screen and I don't know if it works or not. But
Yours is pretty little detailed.
yeah.
I mean, it kind of just goes to show you that like we don't really work 100% of the time. We don't really need to, but for whatever reason, the whatever powers may be, like feel like you need to be doing something 100% of the time, which is really dumb.
Yeah.
As long as you get the project done.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Done,
Results, right?
Yeah. With no like quality drop off or anything.
Yeah. And I think that's like also true. Like when you're in the office, like you're not 100% productive. Like you said, like you're always getting interruptions. You're always, somebody's gonna want to have some water cooler talk or something, or like.
Or sometimes you get your work done and you're just looking to be busy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'll move the mouse around, open and close some browsers. And
All right, let's get into some Q&As. Let's answer some Q&As from the community. These are submitted through our Instagram, through DMs, text messages. Our first one comes from, our Ate Melissa. Question for Chris. What event or events in your life led you to your current career path? And where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Ooh.
What has led me to my current career path? I mean, definitely screen printing in high school, right? Like that's what really taught me how to put art onto clothing, onto stickers and stuff like that. 10 years from now, honestly, I just hope that I'm just being creative. Like that's honestly what I want to do. Cause like the higher you go, the less creative you kind of are. And it's more like you're making sure everybody else is being creative and inspiring them. So I just hope that I have some kind of position where I get to actually be creative and still, express myself that way.
Yeah, that's why I asked earlier if you're doing anything like any personal projects, because it's really those personal projects that kind of like feed that, the creative part of yourself. You can't ever forget that or let that go.
Definitely, I feel that for sure. Yeah.
Next question is also from Ate Melissa. How did you and Erica meet?
How did me and Erica meet?
So
my wife.
Yeah, your
Who's
wife.
Erica?
My wife,
Erica.
Okay. We met through mutual friends. We actually went to high school together. She went to Mary Mesa, but I didn't know her in high school. We met through a mutual friend, Thomas, and kind of just hit it off the bat. I actually was single for a really long time. Yeah. And
was this senior year or?
No, this is way after.
Oh, way after. Okay.
Yeah. It was maybe like, I think we've known each other now for 15 years.
Oh, wow.
2009.
Yeah.
Wow.
Around there. Yeah.
Do you remember your first date?
With her?
Yeah. Well, no, with the
I mean, I can see what. Yeah. That's fair. Yeah.
Well, one of our first dates, like I said, we met through mutual friends, so we were always like around friends. But the first time we were like just alone together, we went hiking.
Oh wow! Okay,
like on the beach in La Jolla.
Long walks on the beach.
I know. How romantic.
I know.
Okay.
Classic romantic.
Trying to seal the deal.
Trying to get on the beach too.
She was playing hard to get, and I was like,
let me get some sand between your toes.
I literally asked her like I want to be exclusive. What's up? And
yeah, gotta be straight up, man.
She told me like years later, like that was the point where she was like, all right, yeah, I think I'm going to get serious with this guy.
Okay.
Nice.
So it worked.
You threw the dice and it landed up 7.
I know you asked that, but did you ever ask her like, will you be my girlfriend?
I mean, not in those exact words, but yeah, I mean, like, can we be exclusive? I don't want to see anybody else. Yeah.
That's a more formal way of putting it. Yeah.
That's like, do we still do that today?
Not a lot of people do. Not a lot of people do. But I mean, like, people have the talk.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Like, so what are we? Where is this going?
No, it wasn't like that.
I'll let you supersize your meal. Talking about meals, let's segue. Nadine asks, what is your splurge meal?
What is my splurge meal?
Yeah.
R&B cuisine.
Ooh, what do you get there?
R&B.
I get the lechon. I get the sisig for sure.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like my benchmark for sisig now. Like,
yeah. Their sisig's good. Their sisig's good.
I went to the Philippines one time and I ordered it and I was like,
it's a little different.
It's different?
What is this coconut milk in here?
Coconut milk sisig?
Yeah, it was good, but I was like, this is not what I thought I was going to get.
Wait, so that's your splurge meal? Lechon and sisig at once?
Lechon, sisig, and then I'll get like...
Bro, you're high blood, man.
No, yeah.
That's a heart attack meal.
Hopefully you don't have that
That's
too
why
much.
I don't do it too much.
Okay.
I think we're all predisposed to.
It's just our brown blood, man.
Oh, shoot. So Nadine says, don't say these questions are for me. My bad. Before we move on from her,
We're going to keep that, though.
what's your life's greatest lesson thus far?
Oh, man.
Your life's greatest lesson.
My life's greatest lesson.
So far.
So far, I would say is to not take it too seriously, I guess.
Okay.
Because I used to take it a little too seriously and
Take what too seriously?
Like life in general. Just like having like, I guess not really unrealistic goals, but kind of just like just the standard was too high for me, and I would never meet it, I guess.
Yeah.
So then I like once I started to just go with the flow a little bit more, it kind of just worked for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's like a big thing, like culturally too. Like you're always getting like compared to some cousin, or like your parents are telling you
to him all the time.
What?
Yes.
To me?
When we were way younger.
Wait, let's talk about this. I've never heard this.
Yeah.
Because I felt like me and you were the black sheep of our cousins.
Yeah, well, maybe later, like in high school, yeah. But like when we were in elementary school, I remember all the time.
Elementary is different. Come on.
I
What
remember. It was when you're still in National City.
Oh, wow.
Like it was way back. I remember.
Yeah.
Like my mom would be like, yeah, he's always getting straight A's and this and that. And
What?
The grades were E's. Yeah. Back in the day.
Excellent.
You just have to show up to do your work and you get E's. That's elementary. Oh my goodness. I never knew that though. I never knew that.
But still, like even at a young age, like you're still being compared.
Yeah. It's
Like,
always comparison.
I mean, looking back on it now, it's like, yeah, that didn't matter at all. But at the time when you're that young and your parent is telling you that, it does a lot of psychic damage to your mental, dude.
I mean, I'm in my 40s now and I still remember it. Yeah. Not that it really affected me, but like I remember being compared to you for sure.
That's crazy in elementary though,
Yeah, man.
I mean, that's usually where a lot of parents kind of do it, I think. Because, I mean, I get it on the other side too. It's like, as a parent, you want to make sure your kid's doing well.
Yeah.
And like, I understand, like, I'm not saying like it excuses it, but it explains for like why they're doing it to you.
Yeah. It's like maybe they want you to just see like a positive example or something.
Right.
Not so much
It's still
comparing,
yeah.
The intent is.
The intent is there. Like, they want you to be well adjusted or whatever, like whatever's normal. That's a whole other conversation, but, you know.
So this just brings up a question for me. Getting into the art career, how did your parents feel about this? Not being a nurse, not being in the Navy, and all the other stereotypical, Filipino.
They pushed me in those types of occupations like nursing and stuff like that. But they were always really supportive.
That's good.
When it came to like being creative and me wanting to go to art school, especially my dad.
Yeah,
like my dad was really into music, and although I never really pursued it, like further past high school, like anytime I wanted any kind of instrument, he would buy it. Like, I played the trumpet, cool. I played the saxophone, I played the
Those aren't cheap
drums,
too. Those are
the drums. Yeah, I played the.
You play the piano, right?
The piano.
You played the piano.
Yeah.
Every kid plays piano first, dude.
It was easy, man. I would just bring him to Guitar Center, and I would leave with like he was really easy to convince. Yeah. Like,
you knew your dad.
I'll do lessons. I'll do this. I'll do whatever, and then but he would like push me to play like church music all the time.
Oh yeah, your dad was big in church.
Yeah, so it kind of turned me off into music a little bit. I was like, I didn't want to play in the church all the time.
But now that we're talking about our childhood history, I won't go deep into it. But that's one thing that I did admire about you and your dad was that relationship, because I didn't have that with my dad. Mm-hmm. That's another whole like with my therapist and stuff.
Or another pod.
Yeah. But the one thing that I remember about your dad is he was a huge WWF fan. And he got me into loving Stone Cold and The Rock back in the days.
Yeah, even in the 80s before Stone Cold.
The Ultimate Warrior and all that.
Yeah, he took me to a couple that were at the sports arena.
As a kid. Right. Yeah, they used to be that
and
way.
He was die hard because I remember growing up, he would go into the garage and he would have that locker of VHS tapes.
Yeah. He recorded them all.
Yeah.
Does he still have them?
Yeah, is that still there?
Possibly. My sister converted a lot of
them.
Okay.
Wow.
Nice.
There you go.
A lot of his VHS. Tina? Yeah.
Okay.
Like that's something you got to do because VHSs are harder to find and tape
physical media in general. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, he is a hardcore WWF fan.
Yeah.
He'd be sitting at the end of the couch like
like moving it a lot.
Yeah.
Like moving with every like punch and hit. Ducking and weaving.
Mm-hmm. This one comes from Rafi.
Hey.
Rafi wants to know, should we put $100 to win $450,000 for Padres to win the championship this year?
Oh my God.
So you're in the betting? Like you and Rafi go back and forth? Or
so me, Rafi, my brother, and then Chris, Dag, we're all on a group chat, and we're always putting in parlays and stuff like that. So I think that's where that came from.
Oh, okay.
What's the biggest come up so far for you?
The biggest come up, we did like I think it was a 9-team parlay, and we put like 10, 15 bucks down, and then won like, I think it was like $800 or
Each?
Yeah.
Oh,
Not
Well, it was just me
bad.
and my brother.
Yeah.
Not bad.
But
He
damn.
was in Vegas. He was in Vegas with a bunch of friends, and then I just gave him all the picks, and then he was trying to convince all his friends to put it down, and they didn't. Then
Dude, it's
he won.
$10. Like,
It was a small bet,
But for $800,
but we hit on all of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Damn, that's wild.
Yeah. This next question is from my sister, May. She says, Maddox ask, who's your celebrity crush?
Who's my celebrity crush?
He's tired of hearing about me and Valkyrie.
Yeah, he's heard ours.
Yeah, we already know.
I would say one of my first celebrity crushes is probably Jessica Alba.
Ooh.
Dark
that's
Angel?
a good one.
Dark Angel.
Yeah.
Oh, Dark
Idle
Angel.
Hands.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't
Oh.
hands. Ooh.
Yeah. Honey.
Honey?
Yeah.
Honey.
Yeah.
Not her acting, though, right?
I remember like, what was it, when I was in a band or whatever, and we were working with one of the sound engineers would tell us that like he would put honey on in the background to inspire some of the people that he got onto his studio.
What?
It was pretty funny. I was like, what? Did that work? It's like, yeah, some of the others like really like it. I was like, okay.
Oh, my
Interesting.
She's what, like in her late 40s now or early 50s?
Yeah,
maybe?
probably.
I don't know.
She still looks good.
We can fact check.
You know what? I thought your answer was going to be Angelina Jolie for some reason.
I was into her too in high
Yeah.
school.
I
But
think
it's not the first one.
Yeah, I think you had a picture
Hackers?
one time, like out of a like magazine. It was like on your binder or something like that.
Yeah, along
Back
with
in the
all the
day.
stickers.
Yeah, back when we used to put like a whole collage on our folders.
Yeah, dude.
I remember those days.
What if kids still do that now?
It's on their iPads.
Yeah.
Yeah, their iPads, they don't have folders these days.
It's the wallpaper of there.
Yeah.
All right, well, this question is actually from my sister May. Are you guys going to bring back JC Comics? You remember that?
JC Comics?
You don't remember this?
I don't remember this.
So JC Comics was Jason and Chris Comics. You were the artist, and I had like the most randomest characters. Like I had 50 lined up, and I thought of all
What
the,
the heck?
of the abilities,
I don't
attributes.
remember this.
Wait, what is what is the story behind that?
There was no story. It's just I knew Chris could draw, and so we said, hey, let's create a comic book. We never did, but I came up with all the characters, and he would draw, all the time.
Who's the main character? I guess.
I don't remember, to be honest.
How
But
old were
I feel
you?
like the we were elementary. I want to say it was early on.
Or like junior high.
Maybe, but
Middle school, yeah.
yeah, I remember though it would be based off people I knew in school,
Okay.
and it was so funny. One of the dudes, now that I remember, is Bangs Boy.
Bangs boy.
His weapon was like his bangs, and he,
Oh, you can just take it.
he could take it and just twirl it around.
Oh my god.
But it was just dumb. Like it was just dumb characters. But that's what she was referring to.
That's pretty
funny.
funny.
Yeah, because she knew about it.
I wish we kept those drawings.
Oh no, those would have been embarrassing.
No, those are the best though.
That was back when like the Stussy art with the
With the S.
the S.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that era. Gotcha.
All right, we are at guest plug. This is a portion where can our community members find you? Social media handles, website.
I'm on Instagram. I'm not really too much on social media, but you can find me at Ganan at Ganan on Instagram, and sometimes my work's on there.
That's
Okay.
GANAN, right?
GANAN twice.
Yeah.
Nice.
They can also find you. We didn't even mention this, but you have what is it called? Your barbecue.
Barbecue?
Oh, it's called Eat the World.
Yeah.
It's called Eat the World, but basically during COVID,
Yeah, everyone.
nothing to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I just started documenting
Yeah.
like I got a Traeger, I got a propane smoker, and then I got a new grill, and I just started cooking.
Oh, so that was your COVID obsession. Everyone developed one during that.
Yeah, that and IPAs and wine.
Yeah. I was like, I think drinking was my COVID.
Any shout outs or recognition?
Shout out to my wife for putting up with me with the long, hard hours of my job. I do work a lot. It's rare that I work just 40 hours a week. I probably had like 2 or 3 weekends this year off.
Dang.
Oh,
You know what I'm
wow.
saying?
Wait, just this year or
Just this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in the last
Wow.
2.5 months, I've been working a lot. So shout out to her for putting up with that. And
Yeah.
Also shout out to all the creatives that I work with. It makes my job a lot easier and a lot more fun than it could be, for sure.
Nice.
Do you have favorites?
You mean artists?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my brother. My brother is probably one of my favorite artists that I work with, for sure. Just, I mean, he didn't go to school for this. He taught himself how to do it, and then so I respect him for that. And he's a lot better than me at designing, for sure. Like, he's definitely passed me up.
Dang, has he heard this?
I think he knows. Okay, I'm pretty sure he knows. I haven't really said it to him, but
just respect.
Yeah.
Any upcoming projects?
Well, like I said, we're going to be launching a website here probably in the early summer. We kind of hit a little roadblock, but like I said, we're planning on doing a photo shoot. We're actually doing it at the rec center.
Oh, nice.
Mira
Mesa Rec
Center.
Nice.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, we scouted it out a couple of weeks ago, and we're gonna rent it out.
Nice. So
Nice.
Let me ask you, size run. Is there gonna be a big sizes too?
Yeah, they'll be big sizes.
Okay, cool. It's one of those things for me because I like it oversized too, and I'm already like oversized. But some brands, they don't have up to like the 2X, 3XL, so that's why I always ask. I always like to support, but I always have to ask.
The oversized
Plus size.
Yeah. So last call. This is for me, Brian Art. This is where we have our thank you, shout outs, anything we want to plug, upcoming events, pod encounters from friends and family.
Nothing much to hear. I mean, I just did Jeff and Christine's maternity yesterday because it was the first. This is the first weekend where it's like not raining. It was like nice weather, and I don't know, man. I guess because of the first weekend where it's not raining, there was a lot of people at the beach yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. But shout outs to them, and they're due in about 2 weeks, so
Nice.
it should be out by the time this this podcast comes out.
I guess I want to give a shout out to the homie Drew. We spent some time with.
Yes.
When we were down at the over in El Cajon. Showed us that really cool Mediterranean spot, or I guess Middle Eastern spot.
What's the name? You don't know the
Dude,
name.
I don't know the name.
He's gatekeeping.
I don't know the name.
It's a difficult name to
It was like,
share.
yeah. Honestly, I didn't even read the sign when we walked in there.
He's just like food.
I was just like, what do I get?
It's on Main Street in El Cajon, Mediterranean, right across from Alibaba.
Yeah, it was like the other corner of Alibaba, and then there's a 7-Eleven on the other side.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I just remember seeing the 7-Eleven. I was like,
Okay.
But yeah, man. Hopefully we get him on the pod. I think there's
That'd be fun.
some
Pharmaceutical.
topics there. Pharmaceutical.
Get Big Pharma on here.
Yeah. Shout out to Drew too, for showing us around and for coming out too. I think it was like kind of rainy that day too, and he helped support. Shout out to Linda. She's the president of the East County Art Association. She invited us to her art exhibition. And then shout out to my wife. My wife already knows. She sees the back end, the late nights when I'm editing, trying to meet that Tuesday deadline. Thank you for your support.
Yeah, when I turned in like my photos Monday at 2
God.
a.m. So sorry.
And it's one photo.
It's just one. Yeah.
Art's like, did you get my photos? You got one photo and it's blurry. Shout out to my cousin Chris. First time on a podcast episode.
Yeah, thanks for
here
having me,
and just in
guys.
general. Yeah, thanks for being vulnerable, sharing a little bit about your life that maybe some didn't know the day to day. And then shout out to everyone that's been supporting. We are at episode 18, and that's crazy.
Yeah, it's fun to see you guys like evolve all the back and forth banter. You guys got like
I don't know how we're evolving it. We're just talking.
well, I mean, you guys are getting a lot more comfortable.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
For sure.
Chemistry is-
Like
Yeah, it is.
Like I randomly like just watched like the first episode, and I was like, oh my gosh. It made me like not want to watch the rest. I was like, oh, are all the rest like that? But I don't know.
No, because I think the first one we were kind of like, oh, are we allowed to, say what we gotta say, cuss and all this stuff, and then we got comfortable and we started drinking more, and it was just like, now I gotta bleep a lot of the things.
I know.
really
I want to keep my jabs.
Yeah.
You putting that bleep sound thing we gave you
Oh yeah.
to work.
And I think the last episode, I put a bunch of bleeps. No, I did. Like, go watch the last episode. I put a bunch of bleeps, but I also didn't catch some because it was just like second nature. You know, like it was just with our conversation. And just
what did you have to bleep from the last
all the bad
one?
words, all the F-bombs and
Oh,
all the B's. All the, yeah.
All right, I'll stop.
All right. Well, thank you for hanging out with us. I'm brewpac.shakur.
This is Art.
this is Brian.
Chris.
Peace.